Show. We're here in, lo and behold, Records and Books in Tramik. We're going to have the Kickstand band performing live, Deadbeat B performing live. We're going to talk to Matt Millia from Frontier Ruckus. And we're also going to talk about the upcoming Tramik Music Festival next month. So I think it's going to be enlightening. Alright, thanks for watching.
Heart hoping I can open it up.
Matthew Millia from Frontier Ruckus here on the Milo Show. Welcome.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for
Lifelong
coming.
dream of mine.
Yeah. Your band started, as you said, you started playing with your talented banjoist,
Davy Jones.
Mr. David Jones, right out of high school.
Right.
Tell us some more about how that got
We
started.
both attended an all-male Catholic high school called Brother Rice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we met in drama class, which was the only drama and German were the two classes also available in a co-ed fashion at Marion next door. Davey took both of those. Okay. And I took drama, and that's where we met, and we had a lot of time to kill backstage, like at play rehearsal. And it started off as a very competitive relationship because he played the banjo. He was the only 12-year-old kid that played the banjo in Michigan, I'm sure, or one of them.
Yeah. And
he was really good, and I thought I was really good at guitar, so we were like, it started as this kind of feuding thing, but then it quickly became a lifelong collaboration, for better or worse. He's my best friend.
So this band started as an ego trip.
Right.
You guys just wanted
to... It hasn't strayed far.
You put out an album in 2008, The Orion Songbook, and I think immediately everyone picked up on your inclination to kind of go for epic with your production and your songwriting and your lyrics. Talk about epic.
I've never used that word, but I take it as a compliment.
I think I've used it once or twice for you. But your lyrics are very dense and very evocative, and they're like novels.
Well, I was always like really concerned with or interested in like domestic minutia, and by finding like an epicness within that stuff, just like household appliances and
sweatpants, sitcoms,
but also like turmoil and drama in our families and getting
starter
older.
Jackets, Nesquik.
Childhood fashion was always very pertinent to my lyrics, which can be epic. Yeah, some epic childhood fashion.
Well, there's that nostalgic factor, or just how weird it is to sort of go back into revert to your childhood self and think about how weird or awkward you used to be.
It's a galaxy of details that are there to be mined, and
you're still that same person in a way.
In a way, that's like one of the biggest tropes of what I try to write about is just this infinite well of things that are lossless. Like they never really leave you, and like the body is like a container of emotion and memory. Just dealing with memory and my inability to divorce myself from all these things and places and people is what I like to write about.
That sounds like exorcism.
It's maybe I tried to exercise things by writing about them, or at least give myself some sort of agency in this just existential thing that we all experience. But at the end of the day, I'm not really trying to purge anything from myself. I'm just trying to understand it better,
right,
and embrace it and remember things more poignantly. And relate to other people, because we're all these wells of specificity, but the more specifically I write, the more somehow universal it gets to, because we all have specifics. So even though mine are different, the more detailed I write about them, the more you can translate it into your own specificity.
That's exactly what I was just about to say, is that for as specific as you get, it's still very general, and I think that even though these images might be coming from your childhood or your view of Michigan, Michigan plays a big role in your songwriting. I think a lot of people can still relate to it, and I gather that was
the weirdest thing. Like when we started to tour and like play a show in like Atlanta or something, and kids would come up and they'd never been to Michigan, but yet I-75 does run through both states, so that helped. But people would sing along to songs about Kego Harbor or Sylvan Lake, or really obscure Michigan places, as if with their own small towns and stuff like that. So I guess that's what I mean.
I'm hoping at some point in this show we can maybe splice in some sounds from Frontier Ruckus. Maybe like Dark Autumn Hour can just start plucking.
Here's Dark Autumn Hour
underneath our vocals right now, and that song is.
That's like our unassuming hit. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that's the song everyone talks about.
It doesn't have a chorus. It has like over 1 million plays on Spotify. I don't know who's listening to it that many times, but
I think it's the power of that acoustic guitar coming in, and that.
I wrote it when I had a really high fever. I remember that. And it's one of those songs that are just totally fictitious, or like I think I wrote it from some imaginary perspective of like my great uncle and his wife in this like imaginary scenario of getting older and trying to understand what happens to love and marriage with age.
Credit.
But all these like hallucinogenic details wound up in there too. Into most of my songs.
I was just about to call you a romantic, and then you used the word hallucinogenic, and I was just like, oh, that's great.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive things.
No, I don't think so. You did also mention that you had another record pretty much done.
It is totally done.
But
it's been done.
The slip of the tongue said you said it's coming out next year.
Yeah.
We have a whole 364 days though.
I know.
Of this year. Don't you maybe want to hopefully get it out this year?
No, it's coming out in 2016.
Right.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Right. It's coming out this year.
We did it over the summer in Nashville. It's the first record we've made outside of Michigan.
Did you feel weird about that at first?
Yeah, I had some misgivings. I mean, this is
weird then good.
Yeah. We did the first 4 records. No, we did the first 3 records in Ann Arbor with Jim Roll, and then we did the 4th record in Detroit, a block from where I now live, in Corktown with Chris Colte.
Big names.
Something about Michigan. Yeah, it's just the songs are so inextricably bound to this landscape, so it just feels right to record them here. But we did this in Nashville with Ken Coomer, who was the original drummer from Wilco, and Uncle Tupelo, and he played drums on the whole record, so it was pretty easy to get over any misgivings pretty quickly.
Well, I've had the privilege to hear a couple songs, even though they weren't out yet, and I gotta say, it still feels like a Michigan record, I think.
Yep.
Despite
that
energy was still there.
It's got, and it's also got this kind of polish that I wanted for like a 5th album. But there's also like a song on it that I recorded in a rainstorm. Like you can hear the rain and thunder. I feel like it's a very real record. As I've gotten older, like the earlier records are like about this like vague. Your problems as a younger person are like kind of more vague and about just human experience.
Quaint.
The older you get, the more practical your concerns get about like. I'm reading about like my dad losing his job, like us losing. The threat of losing your childhood home, like very real. Just life gets more real. Yet the records sound happier or like more upbeat. So it's a strange juxtaposition that I really enjoy.
Yeah, nice.
Mixing the darkness and the melody and the sweetness.
We don't have a title yet. It's up in the air. We don't know a release date.
It's called Up in the Air.
Oh, nice. Very nice. It's called Songs of Existential Dread Put to a Sunny Melody. By
it's a little long, but I think it suits our verbosity.
That's a good colon. Italics. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you for all you do for the musical Michigan community.
Oh, go on.
Go on. That's what I say.
I don't need compliments. I already have a show. Thanks.
Yeah,
Cheers.
And I've loved you from a boy, no other autumn could destroy the town our winds fuse to enjoy, whispering dark farmlands, tearing.
Wanna know where you go?
I'm here with Jennie Knaggs and Eugene Strobe. We're here in Lo and Behold. Welcome, guys.
Thank you much.
Thanks for having
Thanks for
us.
having us.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This is February now, but it's January here as we film. How's
Right,
everything
it's
going?
this time travel right now.
How's everything going?
Well, the Tramik Music Festival is almost 100% booked and ready to go.
You guys
By
are
February
really,
1st.
really on time this year.
Yeah, well,
We have
try.
to be.
This is your
Yeah.
third time doing it. Let's talk about it because in 2014?
2 years ago was the first one, yeah.
Let's say that, let's go back even further. Before we tell people what the Tramik Music Festival is, we should say that there used to be an annual music festival every first weekend in March in this city in Hamtramck where we are. And once that stopped usually happening only in this city, then the Tramik Music Festival was born. Or tell us about its incarnation.
Well, there was a vacuum that was created in the first weekend of March that the music community and overall community here in metropolitan Detroit and Hamtramck decided that there should be a music festival that celebrated local music. And so once that void was there, we started the Hamtramck Music Festival. And in roughly 32 days, we put the whole thing together from the idea to actually performing.
There are students who can't even put
pretty
term
great.
papers together in 32 days.
It's hard. There's a lot of distractions, TV, buying records, going for a jog, but
Set aside your day jobs, your other bands that you work on,
yeah.
and
Well, we always thought it takes a community to put it together. I mean,
Right.
it'd be impossible to have one person do everything. So, and that's what made it work, is that everyone came together and sacrificed their time and passion to do it. And
talk
that's what
about
made it
how
work.
and when you guys each got involved, because this kind of started with conversations at the Painted Lady, and then conversations at Cafe 1923, and then how did it all come together, and how did you guys get involved?
Well, it was just again, it was a talking point on the streets. Everyone that was in a band or loved music was talking about the festival and whether it should happen. So there's a lot of little sparks everywhere.
Right.
And once those little sparks turned into a larger fire of a conversation, then it became a huge bonfire that everyone was invited to. And here we are. And here's Jennie.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved, Jennie?
Well, you called me up. You called me up last year.
way.
And then I joined the committee. So it's a committee of a lot of different community organizers and artists, musicians who are working to put the festival together. And I had a great time doing it last year. And as a performing artist myself, I've always found it really important to do more than just perform, because it's really about this sharing of an experience between people. That's
Right.
the best part about performing. And so if you can expand that and make it not just about you on stage, but other people on stage and other people having this joint experience, it's so fulfilling, and it's really fun to make it happen.
The if you build it, they will come mentality.
Definitely.
Not a one person is killing themselves over it.
And that's a good thing, because who would want to?
Right.
It's more fun when you're sharing that experience, and also maybe someone who's brand new to organizing part of it comes in and they've never really done it before. So you have all these people that have done it in the past that can show them the ropes a little bit, and then they can go off and make their own summer festival or do this or do that or book their own shows.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's training those who are interested in being a part of it to then become one of their own quote unquote bookers or event planners or happening makers.
So this was kind of born out of a nostalgia for getting together at this time of year,
Right.
but also celebrating the city. Can you talk more about that and bringing the focus
Well, I think that was
in
it.
Tramik?
That was a huge part of the earlier festivals, 15 years plus, was that Hamtramck is unique, that it's very neighborhoody. The whole city is 2 miles square. A lot of people live here. There are a lot of shops, cafes, bars, clubs, markets. And so just having that density of people and activity, then it just makes perfect sense to have like a bar hopping type festival, because nowhere else that I know of you can do that. It's definitely walkable or bikeable, or hop in a cab or a bus. We provide shuttles to the fest too, so
Yeah.
that
Excellent.
helps. So yeah, but the city of Hamtramck is very unique in that regard, and a lot of people have a love and an affinity for the city, and that's why it happens here, and that's why so smooth when it does happen. I think. What
And
do you think
also,
about that?
this festival, we have so many great bands in Metro Detroit. We don't necessarily need to go hunting for national acts to bring them here to make
Right.
this festival great. Like, we turn down bands. Like, there's so many bands.
Yeah.
We can't have all the bands because we're a music town.
Spoiled.
And we need a festival to highlight all those different people. And as our festival is growing, we're trying to reach out more to the different communities within our community and trying to get more of the multicultural aspect of our city involved, like with the Bangla School of Music and lots of different local people. It's not just rock bands. We're really trying to expand.
Right.
And so the more we get the word out, the more hopefully we're attracting more different types of people to get involved.
Right, because this isn't about so much exactly promoting a band or selling CDs or selling beer. Community is the word.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, when the community is healthy, then everything else springs off of that. Everything else grows off of that.
Right.
You know.
If there's anyone watching who's never been, you can anticipate 3 nights, or is it going to be 4 nights?
There's an opening night on
Thursday?
Thursday night, and then Friday and Saturday have full nights throughout the city of Hamtramck.
Throughout
at the
Hamtramck.
different venues. Yeah, about a little over 20 venues right now that are confirmed. And then
Break
we
the fourth
do
wall and look at the camera. 20 venues.
20 venues. And then we're also going to have a record swap brunch on that Sunday.
Okay.
So if you count everything, it's the 3rd through the 6th of March,
And that's like-
2016.
More than 150 bands.
It's closer to 200
It's closer to 200.
when it's all said and done, I think. Or who knows?
Okay.
Depends who shows up.
We're talking about how you guys are involved in that, but you guys are also involved in other projects. You've got other bands, Lock LaBelle,
Yep. Lock LaBelle.
Cosmic Light Shapes. What's new on those fronts? What are you guys getting into?
Well, Lock LaBelle, let's see, it's February, so our next show we're doing a happy hour series. And Lock LaBelle is we're expanding ourselves much in the way related to the festival, where we have a more community oriented side project called Detroit Folk Workshop. Where we're trying to network more of the acoustic musicians and world musicians locally. And so we're doing this happy hour series every other week, every other Friday at PJ's Lager House.
You mentioned folk music, because for my mom who's watching at home, if you could tell them about your band and what you do.
Oh, well,
Folk
Lock
is
LaBelle, I play,
folk-centric.
I sing and I play guitar, mandolin, accordion, ukulele, and then my partner Nick, he sings and plays banjo and resonator, steel guitar, and we have original material and we interlace it with traditional American roots,
A little
and that's
bit of-
what we do.
A little bit of Appalachia in there.
Yep, and we love Western swing and old time and stuff like that.
Beautiful. And so what's coming up next for Lock LaBelle in the future?
So Lock LaBelle's next show is part of that happy hour series at PJ's Lager House. So it'll be Friday, February 12th.
Fantastic.
From about 5 to 7. People have dinner. We
Isn't that
play.
cozy?
It's free.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Great. Cosmic Light Shapes. Tell us. And for my mom at home.
Cool.
A little weirder.
A little weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little spacier and
Spacier.
noisier and poppier and rockier and stuff like that. So, our next show will be at the Marble Bar on February 5th. And our full-length record will be coming out fairly soon, and we're writing a bunch of new songs. So,
Fairly soon. Well,
fairly soon.
still a trio?
Still a trio.
Okay.
Yep. Power trio.
Psychedelia?
Psychedelia. Yeah, a little bit of everything. A little bit experimentation, but definitely rocky, noisy, and a little bit psychedelic here and there.
When you say you're hoping for a album release, you looking at spring or summer or
Well,
fall?
it's coming out on vinyl, so
Okay.
process.
someone's like pressing it up
Okay.
one by one somewhere really slowly, but it'll be out.
Reasons why, at the end of the day, you committed yourself to the Hamtramck Music Festival, the most fulfilling, the most endearing, the most inspiring thing that made you want to pick this flag up?
Yeah. To celebrate the music community within Hamtramck and the greater metropolitan Detroit area, and to see new bands live.
I like that.
Being
I enjoy
surprised. I like being surprised. It's a great format for that.
that. God, I really just wanted to lunge at you just now and surprise you. What about you, Jenny?
Oh, seeing this community light up is so much fun. And the first time I went to the blowout, I hadn't moved to Detroit yet. It was 2002, and I was so excited about it. And so when that changed, when the blowout changed, and then this festival became, I also was really excited just to see all these different performers that we have right here in our community. They're so talented.
Bringing it all back home. Yeah. Thanks, guys. So we'll look for March 3rd,
4th, 5th, and 6th.
Hamtramck Music Festival. That's it for episode 5. My show's done. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
And now, here to perform a song off their new Latest release. Let me do that again.
Just keep rolling, Jen.
It's recording, right? I mean, it's been a while. Fuck.
You got a group of kids together.
Can't hear you.
But.
Hi, Richie.
Hi. Hi. Oh, hi.
Why do you think you guys work so well together? You guys worked together for quite a while.
Yeah, we've
Why didn't you kill each other?
maybe we have.
You thought about it.
And you'll find it here.